Greetings, I'm making a less than 10-minute moth radio style video because I was kind of shocked to see that the Pathways organization is doing something for BIPOC people aimed towards talking about self-deletion, suicide, and I knew nothing about it. That's the issue, is that I just didn't know anything about it. I am currently at age 68 doing some intense work on my core issues, which are I want to feel welcome, I want to feel wanted, and I want to feel loved. And because I was the child of an unplanned pregnancy, there's a lot of work there. Notice my nose is a little red because I just got back from an excellent exploratory trip to see what life looks like for me, a woman of more melanated features outside of the United States, possibly as an expat. This place will kill me if I'm not careful. I've already outlived my own mother by 16 or 17 years. Recently, a friend of mine died in a way that I consider unacceptable. And I am a suicide survivor. So that's the real thing, is I'm a suicide survivor, and I have a lot to say at the 20th anniversary, which is next week, of me having survived my own colored girl who considered suicide because that rainbow was enough. Thank you, Tyler Perry. You fucked it all up when you changed the Ebonics. I am a Black woman finding my way. I am finding more and more righteous indignation that I do not take out on my own body in form of overeating or underspending on myself or over-consuming things to make me feel or look good because I'm feeling insecure. I have managed a whole bunch of that. I have not managed enough of my shadow to not feel resentful of the idea that I didn't even know that my state of Vermont was having a BIPOC-led event. Here's the good news. I can't come anyway. I am going to be in Georgia at that particular moment in time. So I decided to leave you all this little, as I said, less than 7-minute commentary. I feel that the BIPOC community in Vermont is a whole bunch of people who much of their lives may have been able to pass for white, or even thought you were white, or white adjacent enough not to consider yourself BIPOC until you got to white Vermont. And then there's a small number of Black people, more Africans who have come here under various refugees and resettlement programs. Very small number of people who came here from enslaved Africans. So our issues are not the same. And our reasons for being traumatized and how we have been traumatized are not the same. So at this point, I'm vocal enough to say I'm not playing so well and so nicely with a not cohesive, not coherent coalition. So all those C's could easily be turned into K's because the racism here still leads. Classism here is right behind, and colorism we don't even want to talk about. I tried to exit the planet on March 25th from a 6-figure medical career in Boston, Massachusetts that was killing me. I am happy to say the condensation of that all these many years later is I suicided my career, but not myself. I was treated horribly by the medical establishment of it at the time, led by a blonde, blue-eyed Karen, before we even had that language. She was so intimidated by me in ways that we now understand, but she couldn't even believe a person like me had gotten into the system, and she wanted me out. The psychiatrist that evaluated me, not how many times, I don't remember, he did twice as much with me because he could not figure me out either. A white adjacent man, Jewish, with the most sterile office I had ever seen, except for one blue tie hanging on his door and a book of Yiddish on a bookshelf, sadistically and in a very aggressive way dissected me and could not make me wrong enough to be an incompetent physician. So he tossed me back to the Board of Registration of Medicine and said, she's weird, but she's competent. Well, I can't say she's not competent. You do something with her. They filed a 17-page report on behalf of a patient to try to get at me. And after 17 months of truly aggressive, I could sue these fuckers now, but who knew back in the day, treatment. And much of it wrong, because the idea that I'd been reported to the Board of Registration was my medical director doing a whoopsie that he did not have to do. Well, but it was too late then, wasn't it? 17 months later, I bowed out of the entire process of ever getting my license to sign prescriptions and admit people to hospitals back, right as I had agreed to do what they wanted me to agree, and then they changed the agreement. And they changed the agreement in a very House Un-American Activities Operation way, because I had agreed to work under the supervision of another doctor for a year just to show them that I wasn't so crazy that I would hurt people. And then they decided they didn't want me to work under that doctor. And the doctor had said to me when I first approached that person, I'm surprised they're going to let you work with me because they've come after me 2 times. And it turned out that they weren't going to let me work with him. They were going to have me do everything and then turn him in. That's the level of institutional racism I dealt with. Did it drive me crazy? Yes. Am I sane again? Basically. Where's my recovery? In many, many spiritual places. And I consider what happened to me a spiritual emerge and see. And I hope listening to what I have said will be useful to some of you out there. And I did it within my prescribed 7 minutes because I'm getting fast with my stories. Snap.